against the oppression of man's obsession to control things. Look at the long line of make-believe kings, and the Lord of the Flies wants you to kiss his ring. Follow new rules with invisible strings and become a puppet in a diabolical scheme. How do good men become a part of the regime? They don't believe in resistance.
You are listening to the Atheist Antidote Show.
Vous écoutez l'émission d'Antidote Athée.
كنا تستمع إلى أظهار ترياق الملحد.
Che si sta ascoltando lo show Antidoto Athée.
You are listening to the Atheist Antidote Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brock Lawley. I am the Atheist Antidote on YouTube and other such venues of social media. Thank you for listening. This is my mini podcast where I lay out for you solid gold by way of worldview and ideology that you can immediately take to the bank and fortify against inflation, against your intellectual currency and other such currency. Okay, today I want to talk about education, how I find that to be, when I look at the landscape, the big picture, the bird's eye view of what's going on politically. I think education and the leftist stranglehold on education, I think that's the cancer. I think that's where we point all our guns. That's where we point the entire arsenal, is to destroy the monopoly and the stranglehold and the corruption and that just mob mess that is public education today. And I want you to think about this. You know, it was a slow crawl. The leftist worldview kind of set their sights on that, knowing that that was the key. That was the cornerstone. And they did this a long time ago. A long time ago, they just started slowly and creeping and crawling towards that goal. And the fruits of making that decision from the leftist worldview have been profound. You know, how they have been able to turn a generation virtually tone deaf to common sense now. And all that has been done through education. I mean, if you do the slightest bit of research on the textbooks that our children are reading, the teacher, my wife is a teacher, the education that these teachers have to get before they can become a teacher is bone-chilling. Bone-chilling, the propaganda. The forthright, outright, in-your-face leftist propaganda in these schools. It is absolutely no wonder that we see the arena of ideas, or lack thereof, in our public discourse and our body politic. You follow the breadcrumbs directly back to this public education system that we have. So I'm in favor of all of the quote-unquote extreme measures. We should completely defund the Department of Federal Education. It is completely and totally a propaganda mill funded by taxpayers. That should just be burnt to the ground. I love the fact, I love the fact that there are charter schools and private schools, and I absolutely love homeschooling. And this is going to lead us to the second part of this podcast, which is there's a story that's very interesting to me. It's a macro story that speaks to the micro very well. You know, a German couple, a lot of you guys don't realize, but in Europe, homeschooling is under fierce attack. I mean, they will take your children. There's a ton of legal ramifications. They will fine you into poverty. I mean, it is really it's really a persecuted subsect of various European countries and their citizens. So there's a German couple, 5 children. Lo and behold, they're Christians. They do not want their children going to these conveyor belts that we call public education and public schools. In Germany, they're arguably far worse than ours. So they leave Germany and they come to the United States as refugees because they fear their children being taken from them. Now, the judge grants them the refugee status because it meets the criteria. And Obama finds out about this, the Obama administration, I should say, the 10th that is the Obama administration. And they want this overturned. They do not like the idea of this refugee coming here under, basically it's sort of like a religious persecution thing. And then also I think you can qualify for refugee status if you're under one of these sort of, it doesn't even need to be a religious, but just a subsect, persecuted subsect of society. So they qualify on they qualify on a number of things. Obama wants to and I think the German judge is the one that granted this status, and then obviously the American refugee system accepted this. And then bear in mind, this is the same administration who says that, barring any, foul play by way of the legal system, in other words, if you don't commit a crime, this administration has already been very, very aggressive that you should not be deported. Except in the case of a Christian family trying to homeschool their children. On that, the administration's paintings are in all kinds of bunched up mess. Anyway, what I want to bring your attention to is it is no doubt, and it is no surprise, and I can't imagine that this is going to hit you in a shocker type of way, that there are huge, powerful entities in the United States who hate homeschooling. I know there's been a lot of cases in California and elsewhere. I think some of the big cases were up in the Portland area. But they hate homeschool. Homeschool poses a huge threat to their stranglehold of education. And they're going to come up with all kinds of reasons. Oh, we can't know what they're teaching the children, as if they even need to. But even if I were to agree on some sort of academic standard, which 48 out of the 50 states already have, that's not the reason. That's the crap they'll say in the court, but that's not the reason. The reason is they know that the predominant homeschooler is a Christian who's aiming to maintain the values and ideology that they share in their children. Perfectly normal thing. And here's the little elephant in the room when it comes to education. Private schools, charter schools, but specifically homeschooling is outpacing public education by a mile. It's not even close. Homeschoolers, now there are exceptions to everything one says. It's just embarrassing I even need to say that. But homeschoolers are destroying public school performance. Academically, I'm talking about reading, writing, arithmetic, geography, science. It's not even close. And then these clowns from the Department of Education have the audacity, the chutzpah to get up there and say, "Oh, we just can't be sure. We have to maintain quality." This Department of Education is pumping out 65% of the public school children in our country who can't read at a 6th grade level. I'll repeat that. They can't read at a 6th grade level and they have a diploma in their hand. And these clowns are talking about, we just can't be sure. We just can't be sure of the quality of education. This is the upside down, Alice in Wonderland world you're living in. So once again, I end as I started. We need to seriously attack public education. And it doesn't matter your politics. Your kids are the lambs on the altars of this horrible, corrupt, mob-style gangster system in place that we call public education. It needs to be nuked. Thank you for listening. You are listening to the Atheist Antidote Show.
Вы слушаете шоу «Противоядие атеист». 您正在收听的无神论者解药秀。You are listening to the Atheist